in to get my hair cut today, so say goodbye to this hair. As you guys know, I got my hair cut a couple months ago. I think it was like a little over 2 months ago, and I got it cut for free. And guess what? I'm getting my hair cut again for free. I used a website called salonapprentice.com to find websites in salons in my area that are offering free haircuts, and I'll link my video about free haircuts in the bottom bar below so you can take advantage of free haircuts if you live in a big city that offers it, or you can always go on Craigslist.com, which I'll link in the bottom bar below, and you can use your judgment on finding a salon that maybe is offering free haircuts in your area on Craigslist. So anyway, this video is going to be about what do you ask for when you go to the hair salon. Oh, and quickly, I will update you guys. I'm going to film a video when I get back from getting my hair cut, so you'll be able to see kind of like what my hair ended up looking like. Anyway, this was a request that somebody sent me about, what do you ask for when you go to the hair salon? Because sometimes, you're going to the hair salon for the first time. So this is what this video is all about, and so I'm just going to go ahead and jump right in and tell you guys what the first thing I do. Before I even go to the salon, I go on to Google or other hairstyle websites, and I find a picture of a celebrity or just another model or whatever that has a haircut that I like. And then I also keep my eyes peeled all the time when I'm watching TV, when I'm watching movies, and I try to find people's haircuts that I like, and I just keep that kind of in my head, or maybe write it down, and then I can go back when it's time for me to get a haircut and pull that image up. And so I found a couple images of haircuts that I want, and I'm not going to put them in this video because there's like copyright issues with using, pictures and stuff that aren't yours. Sometimes you may find when you bring in a picture of a celebrity that you like, you may not have the exact same texture as the celebrity or the model in the picture. So you may have curly hair and the celebrity has straight hair. For me, a lot of times it's that the celebrity or the model has thinner hair than I do, so their hair lays a little bit differently on their head. My hair is a lot thicker, so a lot of times my hair isn't going to look exactly like the pictures that I bring in. So I never really have that expectation like I'm going to walk out looking like Mila Kunis or whatever, because Mila Kunis has a lot thinner hair than I do. And so, you just have to know that that's not always going to be exactly what your hair comes out like. Whatever picture you bring in, it always isn't going to turn out that way. So just have realistic expectations about what you're going to get from that picture. Go on to google.com or whatever and just, Google images of celebrities and then try to pick out, kind of the style that you want. And for me, I'm actually kind of looking for a shorter haircut than what I have now. I'm going to discuss it with the stylist. That actually brings me to my next point. You want to make sure that you have a hairstyle that fits your lifestyle. So that's the second thing. You find a hairstyle that fits your lifestyle, that's not going to take you, an hour in the morning to get ready, especially if you have a very hectic life and you have to go to school or you have to go to work and you don't have an hour in the morning to spend on your hair every single day. You want to find a haircut that you can kind of wash and go if that's your lifestyle. Now, if you aren't working or going to school, you work at home, whatever, you might have a little bit more time in the morning to get up, or maybe you're just an early riser that likes to get up 3 hours before you need to be anywhere, and you have time to do what you need to do to your hair. If that's the case, then obviously you might be looking for a different hairstyle than somebody who only has 5 minutes to do their hair in the morning. So you definitely want to talk with the stylist about, okay, here's the pictures I like, but do these actually fit my lifestyle? Am I feasibly going to be able to get this done? And maybe there might be some modifications that you need to make to that hairstyle. So that's actually the second point. Ask if that style fits your lifestyle, and also not just your lifestyle, but your face. Does that haircut actually fit your face? Now for me, I have a very round face, and so not all hairstyles are going to work on my face, but a majority are. And so if you have like an oval face, I think that's the kind of face shape that you actually can have pretty much any hairstyle you want, and it'll work. But anyway, there's all kinds of different, face shapes that affect what kind of hairstyles that you can get. And beauticians, stylists, cosmetologists, they are all trained on how to achieve the best look for your face shape. So make sure your stylist is taking that into account. And then the other thing is, if there has to be changes done to the haircut that you want, based on the picture that you brought in, what kind of changes need to be made, have that discussion with the stylist, find out exactly what changes you're going to make and how that's going to happen. So that is basically the second point. The third point is you want to decide on the length. So when you're in the chair with the stylist, you've already talked about, you showed her or him your pictures of what you want, and then you've discussed, is this actually going to work for my face and for my lifestyle? The third thing you want to talk about is the length. what length do you want to go to? And make sure you talk about this before the hairstylist actually starts cutting your hair, because, you might find that they make their first cut and it's too short, it's not what you want, or maybe they're not going short enough. And you don't want to wait until the end of the haircut to bring that kind of stuff up. If you see anything going wrong while you're getting your haircut or something you don't like, you need to speak up right then and there. The stylists are not mind readers, and most of the time if you bring it up in a very polite manner, they're not going to be offended by it. That's their job. They're used to, people maybe wanting changes done to their hair and that kind of thing. And it actually will save that stylist a lot of work in the end if you bring it up as soon as possible. So if you see anything going wrong that you don't like, bring it up right away. But anyway, decide on the length. So if you know that, you want to go to your shoulders, then make sure that, your stylist is going to take it to that. If you decide you want to go a little bit shorter, make sure, that your stylist is taking that in consideration also. And keep in mind, if you're getting your hair washed, which is the majority of the time you're going to get your hair washed when you go get your hair done, your hair actually, when it's wet, it looks longer because it has like stretchiness to it, elasticity, and it'll look a little bit longer. So then when it dries, your hair is actually going to shrink up just a little bit, and it'll make your hair look a little bit shorter. So keep that in mind when you're getting your haircut, is that, it might look like the stylist isn't going as short as you want when your hair is wet, but they actually are, and they're trained to know, about how long or how much your hair is actually going to shrink up. The fourth thing is, where will your shortest layer be? So if you're having a haircut that has layers, which a lot of haircuts do, you want to make sure that you know exactly where that layer is going to fall. So this has to do with length also, but it's a little bit farther along. Make sure you find out, is your shortest layer going to hit here? Is it going to hit here? And where do you want it to hit? Layers are one of those things that adds a lot of volume to your hair, but it also can limit you on what you can do with your hair and that kind of thing. If you have a lot of layers in your hair, you may find that it doesn't all go up into a ponytail, or you can't put it back in a certain way that you want to do. So you need to make sure you know exactly where you want your layers to fall, and the stylist can help you determine that. The other thing that goes along with deciding where your layer is going to fall, also, where are you going to have bangs? Are you keeping the bangs where they are? Do you want to grow them out? Do you want, more of a side swept bang? If you don't have any bangs like me, do you want to get bangs? And that also goes along with your face shape, because some face shapes really shouldn't have bangs. Like, I'm actually one of those kind of people. I have a smaller forehead, so bangs doesn't always look good on me. I've had side swept bangs a lot in my life. I've actually had bangs, across my forehead before, and it's really personal preference. And keep in mind that sometimes it may be best just to not have bangs at all. It really just depends, and you can oftentimes achieve a very similar look to the picture you brought in. If the picture has bangs in it, a lot of times you can have that same kind of look without actually having the bangs. So that was the fourth thing. The fifth thing is, what kind of tools will the stylist use? You can ask this right off the bat if you want to. Some people really don't want a razor used on their head. Some people really don't want the stylist to have to bring out the clippers, like what they oftentimes will use on men. A lot of people don't, if you're a female, you might not want that used on your head. So make sure you clarify that with the stylist up front, so that way you're not like midway through the haircut and all of a sudden they bring out, the buzz cutter thing or whatever they call it, and they start trying to use it, on your neck or something, and you don't like it. Make sure you speak up ahead of time, or when you see it, make sure you let them know, that hey, I don't really want that used. But it's better to do that beforehand. That way they can achieve what they're trying to do without having to like stop and regroup and figure out, okay, I can't use this on their hair, so what am I going to do now? It's easier if you just bring that up at the beginning of the haircut. Alright, so the last thing is, you can ask this before you get your haircut or after if you want to. It's not that big of a deal, but maybe when you're at the point where you're discussing, does this haircut fit my lifestyle? You want to make sure you know what kind of products you should use on your hair. So if you never use gel in your hair and this haircut that you're getting is going to recommend that you use gel, then make sure you know that, up front, or at least when you leave the salon. That way, if you need to pick up any new supplies from the salon, oftentimes a lot of salons will sell the products right there, and the stylist can make recommendations as they're cutting your hair and let you know exactly what they're using. Don't be afraid, if you see the stylist, put something in your hair that, you're like, what is that? Don't be afraid to ask, and don't be afraid, to say, hey, I don't want that in my hair, or hey, what's the name of that? I want to buy it, or whatever. And also, a lot of times at some salons, stylists will try to sell you products. Don't feel that you have to buy the products that they're recommending to you. Obviously, they want you to buy it, so their salon makes money, and sometimes stylists do make a commission off those products. but don't feel pressured into having to buy that. The most important thing is the stylist wants you to feel happy, and they want you to come back, and they want you to be a loyal customer. So they don't want to make you feel uncomfortable. They're just doing their job. And if you don't want to buy the product, fine. If you do want to buy the product, fine. Whatever you want. That's kind of the law on that. Then also, do they have any styling tips for you? So maybe they have a quick tip on how to blow dry your hair, or maybe they have a quick tip on how to get your side swept bang to stay exactly how you want it. Ask them tips on how you can achieve what they're doing at the salon. A lot of times I'll leave the salon, my hair looks fabulous, and then I can never get it to look like that again. And I just decided I was going to start asking the stylist, okay, how did you just blow dry my hair? How did you just straighten that? And really figure that out. But the last thing after you get your styling tips and your products and that kind of thing is never forget to tip your stylist. If you feel that the stylist didn't do a good job, then you don't have to leave a tip. Tipping is always optional, but I would recommend if something went that wrong where you don't want to leave a tip, you should definitely talk to the stylist or ask to talk to a manager at the salon and find out exactly what can be done, because you don't want to leave a salon with being unhappy about your hair. Go home, I'll try to deal with it, see if I can make it better, and if not, call the salon back a couple of days and say, hey, I really want, some different things done with my hair. I got a haircut there a couple of days and I'm not happy with it. The salons will definitely try to help you out as much as possible. But I recommend trying to do that while you're at the salon, and if possible, do that while you're getting your haircut so that you can avoid being unhappy with your hair. I haven't really had a bad haircut since I was a teenager, because I've learned that you have to speak up and you have to ask questions when you're getting your hair done. You just can't, rely on the stylist reading your mind. So make sure you guys do that. But remember, most stylists are really working off of their tips. They usually don't make a whole lot of money just by cutting hair in most salons, so they really do rely on their tips. So if you get a decent or a good haircut and you're happy with it, you want to make sure you leave a good tip, anywhere from 15 to 20%. So if your bill comes out to be $40, then you should 20% would be $8, 15% would be $6. So make sure that you are leaving that tip for that stylist so that they can make a living, because that's what they're doing while they're at the salon. That's their job. So make sure you show your appreciation for your haircut by leaving a tip. Anyway, I guess that's all my styling tips that I have for you guys. So now I'm going to go ahead and show you what my hair looks like. So those are my styling tips for what to ask when you go to a salon. If you guys have any other tips that you ask for when you go to a salon, please leave them in the bottom bar below so that we can all know and learn from that. And if any of you guys get a haircut, let me know, and I would love to see pictures or see your video. You can leave it as a video response. Kind of a side note, guys, I always allow video responses on my videos, so don't feel like you have to have a video that's related to this topic or anything like that. If you have a video that's at all related to beauty or fashion or life in general, go ahead and leave it as a video response below so that other people can view your video. But on all my videos, I allow video responses, so that's just kind of a side note there. Here's my new haircut for you guys. This is what my hair looks like, and I got it cut, really short because my hair is so thick, and for the summertime, it's just way too hot. I decided that I wanted something really short, really easy, really quick, that still had a little bit of versatility. I can still, I have these longer pieces in the front, and then it gets pretty short all the way around. Hopefully you guys can see that. Here's the other side. But I still have some versatility with what I can do in the front. Like I can, put it up in a little poofy, or I've been able to do things like on the side, anything like that I can still do with this hair. Obviously it's really short. Like I can't even put it in a ponytail. It just doesn't work. Like I don't have any hair in the back to even gather it. But anyway, it's a graduated bob, and this is what it looks like. So I hope you guys like it. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.